Vinyl community, how's it going today? It's Saturday, it's a beautiful day. I spent most of it outside drinking some iced coffee from the local shop, Bean Traders, and I wanted to do a vinyl update while I had some time. I was about to set up and make some music, but while I have the time, do this vinyl update, upload it later in the week. And so if you've uploaded a video for my contest between Saturday and whenever I upload this, I can't give you a shout out, but I woke up this morning and Travis and Adam, my boys in the VC, both of you guys have uploaded responses. I'll have commented on them already, but I'm going to comment on them soon. I watched them this morning and good stuff, you guys. You know what's up. You're on the level, and I really appreciate the kind words and just taking the time to show some support, do the thread. I sold 3 7-inches on eBay and I made a lot of money. I made about $150, $160. So that was awesome. And I bought a bunch of records with them. I bought some stuff I've been looking for, some new records, some stuff I probably wouldn't normally buy. All that to say, I got some cool records. I'm very excited to show you some of these records. We'll start off kind of, this is a little bit more esoteric, but it's an 80s band called Furniture. This is their first album, The Love Mongers. And I first heard this band, they had a song in Some Kind of Wonderful, and I had to do a double take because the song that they played, which I think was Brilliant Mind, sounded exactly like The National. And this movie's from the 80s. And so I looked it up. This band's called Furniture. It was off the album The Wrong People, which took me forever to find, but I bought that album. Wanted this first album, Love Mongers, that I'm showing you. And it came as a 2 LP lot with their other 2 records. So I was able to get this for a good price. This is on Premonition Records. This is from 1985. Can't even really see that. It's a really sunny day out today. But this is excellent, kind of jazzy post-punk. But this is early, this, you know, their first record, so it's a lot edgier than their second record, The Wrong People, which I highly recommend you check out. It's just basically this band, their breakthrough album came out right as the label went bankrupt, and the label wasn't able to show them the support they deserved. So there you go, Furniture, The Wrong People. So happy to have that, and like I said, it came as a lot of 2 records, and so now I have all their records. They only had 3. Their 1990 record, actually 1989 record, Food, Sex, and Paranoia, and I haven't listened to this yet. Wasn't even expecting to check this out at any point, but this is on Arista Records, made in the UK. Really, it's that thin kind of vinyl that's not flimsy that I see a lot on these UK pressings. Furniture, just great stuff. If you're into the National, I think you'll like it. But if you're into post-punk, it has a little bit more, I hate the word sophisticated, but I use it. It's, you know, that jazzy kind of lounge feel added to it. I don't know if this record sounds like the other ones, but I can't imagine it'd be that much different. Picked up a copy of The Feelies, second record, The Good Earth. Holding out for this one for a while. I love Crazy Rhythms, love Crazy Rhythms. This is on Coyote Records and came out 1986. Excellent. Just, if you like guitars, this is produced by Peter Buck of REM. And, I mean, if you're into sort of indie post-punk stuff and not familiar with the Feelies, it's highly recommended. You know, I'm a huge fan of just some normal dudes playing some music and a girl. You know, just getting together, a good time, not necessarily in it to win it, but maybe there's some similarities there with the way that I make music with my band. Very casual, but with an aspiration to make a great sounding record. A new record in the pile is Unknown Mortal Orchestra 2. This is really, really awesome. If you are a fan of the releases from this year by Foxygen or Tame Impala, I think this is kind of from the same direction, but I just think the songwriting just really, in my opinion, kind of blows it away. And you know, I loved the first record by Unknown Mortal Orchestra. On first listen, this didn't sound as good to me, but upon repeated listens, it's just even better, even better. He took his original sound of these pop nuggets and just took them to the next level. Indie, pop, psych, sort of R&B inflected as well on Jaguar. And actually, one of the 7-inches that I sold was an Unknown Mortal Orchestra 7-inch. And it was limited to 300 copies. I bought it way back when they first released their material, and the songs all showed up on their first album, so I was only holding on to it for credibility and figured since that album was coming out, the time was right to sell it, so I sold it. Made some money. Aztec Camera. Highland Hard Rain. Finally got this for about $5. I've been waiting basically to find it for $5. Just indie pop, jazz, jangle to the max. Just great record, great songwriting by Roddy Frame. The single Oblivious is just a monster of the jangle pop genre. I hope to do a video soon of jangle pop. I have a category in my record collection of the stuff, and this is, you know, just a great release of the genre. 80s, indie, college, alternative, whatever you want to call it, but with main focus on the guitars. And great album. Can be found for under $5. Sometimes it just takes a while. I've waited probably about a year to find this for $5, which shows how patient I can be, which is definitely a virtue in record collecting. Another 80s guitar pop record I've also been holding out for a long time is Close Lobsters. This album's Foxheads Stalk This Land, and this is 1987 Fire Records. This is an Enigma release. And again, some excellent guitar pop from the 80s. Wow. I mean, this is a great record. Derek had mentioned in one of his videos that he sees British guitar music, pop, kind of on a continuum, and totally agree. Totally agree. And this, you can sort of hear a transition. On the last song, Mother of God, you can kind of hear this jangly guitar sound sort of morph into, you know, the conversation of British music that would later become shoegaze, or be called shoegaze. And it just is an epic song. It's about 10 minutes long, Mother of God. Very cool. So Close Lobsters, some good British guitar pop. I bought a Fela Kuti box set, and it arrived, said it was brand new, was not brand new, and all of the records had split every single spine in the record. So I sent it back. It took forever to get the guy to be convinced to send it back for a full refund, but he finally did. So I have the money sitting in my PayPal. Kind of was ruined on it. Don't really want to buy the box set again. I decided there's 2 records in the box set that were the reason I bought the box set. So I'm just going to try and find some good issues of those. One of which is Fela Kuti, Ginger Baker, live. Just funky. Funky. I've seen this in the VC a lot, so most of you probably know what's up with this record. You know, billed with Ginger Baker, I think one of the first instances of a Western musician, or, you know, American musician kind of going over to Africa and billing themselves with an African musician. Just sounds fantastic. If you can get your hands on a pressing of this, this is a Signpost issue. I'm not sure what year that is, but that's the label right there. And I'm kind of, just in the last few months, getting into Fela. I've listened to a lot of African music, but kind of skipped over Fela because of some of the things that I've heard about him as an artist and his views towards women, that's a soft spot for me. But you know, sometimes you got to separate the artist the art from the artist, which I managed to do enough to enjoy this great record. And Refuffo Fight is the other LP I've been looking for. This next record, Sunset Valley, New Speed, is the name of this record, which I have about 30 CDs that I've kept. I sold all my CDs and I kept about 30. And this, Sunset Valley, the New Speed, was one that I kept. Compared to the Pixies a lot, and just noisy, kind of avant, bratty pop music. Just, you know, did not receive that much attention, nearly as much as I think it should have. So it kind of became like one of those, you know, secret records that you're just a huge fan of. It's on Sugar Free Records, 1998, and they're out of Portland. Definitely a huge, kind of, you know, there's some songs that the Charming Youngsters do that I feel are carrying on that torch. I always assumed it wasn't available on vinyl, and just kind of on a whim, I decided to check out to see if they had any vinyl. And it turns out the reason that I've never found it is because they released an edition of 300 called the Blue Speed instead of the New Speed. It's still on Sugar Free Records, has an extra song, and just a total grail, you guys. And these songs still, to me, hold up. You know, it's just one of those things also in high school, you blow up in your car, and totally awesome. Got it for a great price, too, on blue vinyl. Next record, I've talked about this band a lot. This band will also be featured in the prizes of my 150 subs contest, along with some other cool stuff. But I finally broke down and got the Skeletons' new record before it ran out. They had an edition of 100 that was like the deluxe version, and an edition of 200 that was the regular version. So I ordered the regular version because they said the deluxe version was sold out. Hadn't heard anything about the order, so I sent Matt from the Skeletons an email saying, you know, just kind of asking where it was, and he said, "Oh, sorry about the wait. I will make it worth your while." So he sent the deluxe version, which I assumed was sold out, and you know, I got it for less money. He also sent me a couple other records and some 7 inches, which was awesome and not necessary. But this is their album, Big Band. It came out late last year. The cool thing about the deluxe version is basically the premise of this album. You know, this is kind of avant, indie, free jazz. It's on nice white vinyl. You know, they started off kind of electro. They've moved towards this sort of live band sound with sort of jazz pop ideas. But it comes with, losing all these, it comes with all these really nice prints of the music and lyrics for the album. It's kind of lyrics here. Scenes from, I guess this is a film as well. Storyboards that also have descriptions of the music that should be playing in the background. There's more sheets of music, and it's called Big Band because this and his last record were kind of big bands. I think there's, you know, sometimes as many as 20 to 25 musicians on each track, and you know, the music is written very loosely. It's basically pick one note out of this chord and play it this way. You know, I'm gonna buy all of this band's releases. I just think very original, refreshing takes on modern music. And lastly, massive grail for your boy Nolan, massive grail, is Cornelius Phantasma, the music of Kiego Oyamada. This is 1998 Matador Records. I'm going to try and get all of Cornelius's music. When I try and talk about Cornelius, it's the sound of Disneyland exploding, not in a violent, graphic way, but if the explosion and fireball were made up of the sounds of Disney World, this record would be it. It's, I think, compared a lot to Beck, I think kind of unfairly because of the everything in the kitchen sink approach. While I think Beck is talented, I have nothing against Beck. I think this is a little bit more dream pop influenced. It's a great pressing. His music would go on to be a little bit more electronic and minimal. This is a little bit more psychedelic, dream pop, electronic, and just a masterpiece of just a one-man bedroom situation. And that's I love that stuff. It comes included with the CD booklet, which I was happy to find because I've since sold my CD, and it's a really good booklet. All the lyrics, both translations of the lyrics, it has them in both languages. I actually was not willing to pay what the auctions were going up to, and I guess I did bid on one of them. The winner didn't pay up, so I got a second chance offer for what my maximum bid was, and definitely took it. Took about 2 weeks to get here because the buyer or the seller was kind of a flake, but I'd play this for you if I had better microphone on this thing. Great record. It's a kaleidoscope of pop music, fantastic, and I've spent a lot of time talking about records here. Just wanted to show those off while I had the time. You guys, take it easy.